Alrighty, boys and girls, that is officially a wrap for the Khan video. And if you ever have thoughts of getting yourself a fake mustache, don't do it. Thank you for watching. I can't get this off. Anyways, bye-bye.
One, two. Yeah, I did have to brush up my samurai sword. I'm getting a bit old now, so hopefully, yeah, a couple more years of this and get a bit more in acting than dying. I had a chat with the boys in Sabaton earlier, and yeah, they're lovely lads, great people. Can't say I listened to them before, but I did check them out after I got a role. And my wife is a fan now, and their Christmas song is going in our Christmas playlist.
Adam, the director, got in touch with us. We are a company that specialises in fight choreography, fight coordinating. He'd obviously seen some of our work and asked us if we'd be interested in working with Sabaton, and we were like, hell yeah. Especially when he kind of pitched the idea of all these famous swordsmen or famous generals fighting against one another, and we thought, you know, that's exactly our wheelhouse. We thought, yeah, we can help out. So Adam was asking for 3 specific characters from history: Genghis Khan, Miyamoto Musashi, and William Marshall. I think what we've come up with is quite cool. It's quite stylized. We've tried to be specific to the individuals that we are fighting. You know, that we've created these fights for.
You guys like fuck him, okay?
So the main actors, they've all had some experience with fight in the past, and it's just about kind of adapting it to the choreography to fit their bodies, work to things that are comfortable for them, but also look really good on camera and effective. So that's been fun, kind of learning how they move. As with Sabaton, well, you know, they're game, they're up for anything, and it's been great to hear them have some ideas. There's a hero stunt, which Chris partakes in, which, you know, has taken a bit of figuring out safety and how to make it look effective. But we think the hero shot's going to look really awesome. And he's like game for it. I guess the only thing is we're all getting a bit older, so we can't jump around like we did back in our 20s, but they're doing a great job.
4, you know that you're going to have to roll out. Okay?
1, 2, 3, 4, yeah?
Yeah.
One of the most exciting things that about this video is that we're actually we're filming in the Natural History Museum, which is awesome. You know, like it's been one of those spaces that's kind of been part of my life anyway as a child, full of history. And, you know, I've watched so many films and TV shows where they've shot this, so it's really exciting to kind of film this there. But obviously make sure that we look after the decor.
The story takes place in the future, the year 2045. So instead of having us performing the song, we are actually using a bunch of kids. They are living in the future, loving heavy metal and enjoying global peace. Because in the year 2039, there was no more conflicts and no more wars in this fictional but hopeful future. To celebrate the global world peace, Sabaton, meaning us, went on no more wars, no more tours. Our final tour in 2039. In the fictional world of 2045, Sabaton is not needed anymore, and our instruments are now found in a museum, where the kids who grew up loving heavy metal, loving Sabaton, they sneak in at night because they know that these instruments contain magic, and by playing Sabaton music, they bring history to life. Little do they know that when they start performing the music and bringing history alive, they also bring the scary Khan to life. And he is very angry after being hibernating for a very long time. And he is more hungry for power than he's ever been, with the ambition to rule the world. He quickly realized that he needs to get out of the museum to become super powerful and conquer all. Meanwhile, the music of Sabaton also awakens 5 soldiers from different eras who have to work together in order to make sure that Khan cannot escape the museum and that he cannot become all-powerful and take over the world. Most of the scenes for this were shot in the Natural History Museum, a fantastic location that we could only dream about a long time ago.
The first 3 characters that we had to get into makeup department were Genghis Khan, Miyamoto Musashi and the Black Prince. We've gone for quite a dirty grubby look for them today, which is one of my favourite looks to do because it's quite easy but it's really effective. It also means it turns that actor into a character for me and just puts a little bit of realism into their character. We've also got the band filming today, and for a couple of them we're going for a little bit of a heavier look for them as they are playing a sort of waxwork character, part of the exhibition that come alive. So it's important to make things look like make the band look like they are actually exhibition pieces and not human beings. Having worked with Sabaton before, I expected it anyway, but they're all really cool guys and it's such a great atmosphere to work with. They're all really fun. You know, they've got funny personalities and it's just a great environment to work in. As a child, you go to a museum and you imagine that these models that are in the exhibits, they are going to come alive at night and it's quite exciting. And I'm a parent and it means a lot for me to be on this job and sort of experience that and you know, when the video comes out, to show them and they'll love it. They'll think it's absolutely amazing, and that for me is part of the job satisfaction, is being able to go home and do that.
All the actors performing in this have been absolutely amazing. Outstanding is Han, the actor who plays Genghis Khan. I think when we were test shooting something and he just in 2 seconds explained to me by one look why he is Khan.
Well, because previously I played Genghis Khan on the National Geographic channel a few years ago. I was working in Cape Town, and I've had some experience through work on the character back then. I had to learn the language and play the character and learn to ride a horse as well. So, which was dropped on me last thing, you know. I wasn't expecting to learn to ride a fully grown horse. It was quite scary, actually. The choreography is, I suppose, like learning a dance. It's a process of learning the moves and everything. It's like learning a kata for martial arts. So it's a cross between that and dance moves. And I have to admit, you know, I'm not very good at dancing. So it has some sort of similarities and preparation. It's repetition, repeat, and that's how you learn. And I've done some taekwondo as well back in the day when I was younger.
And then step back, that's it. So you have to come here, so that this one is loaded, so that you can then go there.
Don't flatten the blade. Keep yourself so you want the blade to flat. Yeah.
It's just so much easier to learn without the costume on, isn't it? Because you have that freedom. But as soon as you don this, it's heavy and it's bulky. I haven't been in the museum for about 40 years. So this is the first time I've been inside here. So I'm actually looking forward to actually going in the building, you know, upstairs.
And action!
Without a hint of pride, what you mean be a king? To make any man in the pride.
Hello there.
If you've only got a mustache, a mustache, a mustache.
If you only got a mustache. In this video I am playing a Napoleonic commander. Yeah, I got today, this video I'm the French, pretty much. Hence the mustache and the very comfortable clothing that I'm gonna be wearing. Yes, I have done a lot of research on my character. I read a lot of books. I went to a course that spanned over a couple of weeks, acting course. It's called How to Become a Napoleonic Commander. But there's like, it takes a couple of months. So I've done that. I talked to a lot of French people, and I first and foremost talked to my Viking Spartan over here. It looks like something from Asterix and Obelix. That's what it does. Well, to be honest and be serious for a second, which I rarely am, I think that being here in the Natural History Museum in London at night, it's so overwhelmingly cool experience. So we have great actors here, like actual professional actors, and we have a bunch of heavy metal musicians that pretend they can act. I think the song is great. I think that... sorry?
The makeup artists are the best.
I think the makeup artists are amazing. I think the BTS guy is the fucking dude. It feels like one of those videos where everything kind of comes together. Everybody's here for the right reason, and I think everybody's here to do a kick-ass job. This is the second time now we work with Adam and the team, and we did 1916, which was a huge success, and we were very happy with the result of that. I think that it's probably very hard to take me seriously, looking the way I am looking right now, but you gotta bear with me. To make the song justice, if you will, by doing it properly, I think it's gonna be a real treat to look at. I was actually here earlier today, because I wanted to see the museum as a visitor, and here's the thing with this museum, if you go to any piece in any, do you say monter in English?
The cabinets.
Cabinets, the cabinets. It's like, that would be the main piece in any other museum in any other parts of the world. But here's like, oh, there's one cabinet and here's another one. It's just a crazy amount of things. So, yeah, what an amazing, amazing place.
Today is my first time, but I actually came here earlier today. Yes, because this place has been on my bucket list for a long time. And it's weird, especially when it comes to London. I seem to have a weird relationship with this city because I was in London at least 10 times before I saw Big Ben for the first time. And obviously, this being a bucket list place for me, the Natural History Museum that is, and me not having been here, even though I've probably been in the city for, I don't know, 50 times. So I'm really happy I managed to do it. And we get to be here after hours. And for anyone interested, the Wildlife Photographer of the Year exhibition was awesome. Worth it, even if you're not really into photography. Fantastic. It's like, you know, when you're drunk and young and you went to Scotland for the first time and you heard this stupid thing about a Snickers, a deep-fried Snickers bar or a deep-fried Mars bar, and you taste it. It's like, yeah, there's nothing wrong with it, but it's exactly as you expected.
Did you like it?
I'm happy I tasted it, but I won't be having another one. No specific Templar in history on this one. Templar heroic warrior is what the script says. I'll try and do my best to look heroic, but knowing myself, I'm gonna fuck it up. To be honest, of all the uniforms / armors I've had, this is one of the least problematic I've had, actually. Chainmail is a lot easier than the plate armor we had for another video, which I don't know in which order these are being released. So if you're watching this, either you you know exactly what I'm talking about, or you have got no idea actually. So we'll see where this ends up. Well, I'll start with the opposite. I'll start with the one I'm dreading, where Chris is jumping over us. I'm considering calling a stunt double actually, because if he messes that up and he lands on us, we're dead. Trickiest part is with the choreography, I think, or the battle sequence is us synchronizing. We have done similar things before, and it's usually not the problem isn't really for a single person to learn their part, but for us to be exactly in the right place because they want us to sync and lock the shields. And we practice with one sort of shield, smaller, rounder. Now we all have very different shields than what we practice with. They've got very different shapes and sizes and grips. So actually making a shield wall like that won't be very historically correct, and it's going to be tricky. And I don't know what sort of weapons we'll be having, so I guess we'll be hurting some fingers and faces and arms today while doing that.
I got involved in the project because my company, True Edge, we were approached to do the fights for this project. Rashid Sabitri, who was the stunt coordinator on it, he was asked, we've got one more person to cast, we need a tall, bearded knight. So yeah, I spoke to Adam about the project and about this character in particular and how Sir William Marshall fits into the world of sort of historical fight, historical warriors. Generally, first thing we do is, as a team, we have a chat. What do we know about the project? What do we know about the era, the characters, the story arc of the project? Then, if possible, we get into our studio and we get some weapons out and we have a play. We start to put together some ideas based on what we've researched, what we've discovered, what we know about the characters. And then we start to put down some choreography. Now, choreography is always flexible because you never know the location you're going to be in or who you're working with. And in this particular instance, we were really lucky we actually got to rehearse with the actors themselves, which doesn't always happen. And I think that will actually show in the final project that we had some time together to rehearse and train and hopefully put across a really good fight for the project. Yeah. As soon as we got that call to work with the band with their profile, Sabaton, it was really exciting. And knowing what we were bringing to this particular project in terms of the historical fighting was, kind of the melding of two worlds. And it's, very exciting. So my first scene today is my big fight scene with Hon. Lovely guy, but fearsome to look at. So a little bit intimidated because he is such a powerful guy. Putting something like this on, it's hard not to feel like a knight in shining armor, and especially with the makeup. I mean, the team here are fantastic. It really helps bring you into the world, and we are surrounded by history here at the museum. So it very much brings out a character that. It's in there somewhere. It's almost kind of primal, and especially putting on armor, it definitely helps get you into character.
So today I'm playing, or for 2 days I'm playing Vlad the Impaler, a Romanian guy. He used to impale people. Very nice guy. I think I find the strength when I get to impale one person on the set. So I'm looking forward to that. The final scene that we're shooting today, which is going to be the kill scene. Oh no, not kill scene, but almost kill scene. Yeah. So I'm gonna do a quite big stunt today. So that's gonna be cool. So I'm looking forward to that. I trained for it so much yesterday, so my legs doesn't quite work today. Quite hurt. The only thing I was nervous about was to jump over the shield wall, which is a quite big jump. And kicking my fellow colleagues in the head or something with swords, and it's a lot of weapons included in this scene, so can get quite dangerous. But we trained for it quite a lot. But I never tried it with full costume, so it might be a little bit different. But I would try my best. It's gonna be cool. So yeah, we went through some choreography yesterday, quite a lot of it, and I think I did my jump over the shield wall like 25-30 times. So my legs are quite dead today. So I'm quite happy we do the jumping, that fighting scene thing today and not tomorrow, because usually 2 days after you're doing stuff like this, your legs are going to be very sore. So I took some painkillers today, and then we're gonna be fine.
We tried one with everyone else.
Yeah, that's what's going to happen.
Sweaty.
Doing great. You're gonna land. You're gonna jump and land here.
Templar grooming.
I call action. I go.
And action.
3, 2, 1.
Sorry, okay. Okay. Yeah, I'll do a 3, 2, 1 this time. It's fine. I got a little excited. All right.
My creative process when I start this is the band will send me a bunch of inspirational images or like a description of the kind of thing that they want. And at that point, I then contact all of the hire houses and they'll send me photos of what they have. And in the case of Genghis Khan, I wasn't too fussed about what came back from either hire house. So in that instance, I hired things from multiple hire houses to create a look that was complex enough to look really beautiful in the museum itself and feel realistic, but have movement and also just work with him really well. He's a big guy and he's statuesque, and I wanted something that went right to the floor to have that kind of really dramatic silhouette. The samurai, same thing happened. One of the hire houses put together an outfit for us, but from that point I was sent a really beautiful inspirational image by the band, and it looked like he was wearing silk robes, which I couldn't find at all, so I actually made those. So the silk samurai robes I made at home. And then we hired the Black Prince, and there was a bit of backwards forwards about that. We changed his character a few times, but Adam, our director, was really keen that it looked really kind of complex and he looked really gnarly. And so the way that we put the band together was each band member chose a historical character, a bad guy, I suppose, that they wanted to be. So our Napoleonic commander, our Templar knight, they're like quite specific costumes that we can just do straight hires for. However, we've got things like the Viking and Vlad the Impaler, which have a bit of creative license. Generally, these outfits were created over, like the Vikings were created over centuries as well. So we can be a bit more creative and we can put together different ideas. For those, we hired a bunch of real furs, cotton layers, some bindings, and we just get really creative and kind of throw it all in. And Vlad's were great because we got to look at like historical paintings to design him. And again, loads of layers, different kind of beltings, leather layers. And I made his hat, which it's quite fascinating what you can do with a glue gun and some stick-on pearls. But yeah, broken down as well to make it look really old. And Pa was our Roman. That's something that we really have to follow creatively and, you know, historically properly. So he's another one that we'll hire in and kind of learn historically how to put the costume together, which is really fun. But they absolutely weigh a ton, and poor Pa, by the end of it, he was in trouble when we took that thing off last night. It works like a really lovely family. Like everyone gets on really well and works hard to pull it together, to each have their own creative input. And I think working with a team that you get on so well with, it's a pleasure and not a chore, because we do so many long hours that you need to be within that family environment to not push each other's buttons more than anything else. But yeah, it's worked a treat, and hopefully the video will, I think that shows.
I always do ask the band, you know, what is the song all about? At the end of the day, they wrote the music, and it's only fair that we take as much of those ideas as possible and use them as a foundation on which to build the concept. Pa, he always has a really solid idea. And from there, you know, we amended it, we developed it together. I did the screenplay, and you know, it was an amazing experience, just like the previous 1916. You know, and I really appreciate that as well, because I love collaboration. The greatest thing about film is the collaboration between all these different people. You know, to collaborate with someone in the band that has got such a strong idea and help them to craft it into something that works on screen. Yeah, it was a real privilege. I love working with kids more than anyone else. They've got very limited inhibitions, you know, they take direction even better than adults. It does come with its added responsibilities from a director. You can only work with them for a certain amount of time. You've got to work around schools and licenses and things like that, and really speak to them on their level as well. Make them feel like an adult, but at the same time, you look after them like their children. These kids really took the direction like professionals, like they've done it a million times before when they haven't done anything like this before. Dylan in particular as the frontman, you know, evoking Joachim's energy on stage. It was amazing.
And that's a wrap, everyone, well done.
To me, this is the best job you can a man could have, isn't it? If we're 12-year-old boys, this is what we play. You know, you pick up a stick and you play this, and then now we get to dress up properly, get the proper looking things, and everyone on they're just great, so supportive, and then helping each other. I bought their latest vinyl and I brought in, and then they all signed it for me. So happy days, man.
The kids that are performing our song, they have all spent a lot of effort learning the song. We did not want this to be some kids playing air guitar without it looking natural. So all of them have talented and by very hard work learned the song by heart, and not only played against the song itself, but they actually play it without any recordings. 4 of the kids come from a musical institution localized here in London, and the 5th kid is, funny enough, the son of our old drummer Daniel Mullback, who has remained a close friend of the band since forever. And it's really cool to see his son following his footsteps and now sitting behind the drums and playing a Sabaton song.
Per called me and he said, "Do you think Leo wants to be a part of a music video with Sabaton?" He texted me. No, he didn't call me, he texted me. And I said yes, without even ask Leo first. So I said yes, absolutely. And then I told him, yeah, Leo, what do you think? Would you like to be a part of a music video with Sabaton? And he's like, yeah. Then he's been practicing for like a month now. He totally nailed it. He's such an incredible talent drummer.
Yeah, so I was at home and my dad came up to me and said that he got a message from Per that he wanted me to play drums in their music video in England. So I got very happy. To know the song, I really just listened, trained, listened every day. In the museum yesterday was when I got into the big place, you know, the whale. It was amazing. I've known Sabaton since I think when they played at Wacken 2019, I think, when I grew my hair, and it was just a coincidence that I was looking like Hannes.
It's a really cool thing to be a part of and to be away from school. All his friends ask like, yeah, what are you gonna do? Yeah, I'm gonna play a music video with one of the biggest metal bands in the world. Yeah, okay, you can go. So we're going on a short trip not a short trip, a long trip from Sweden to London, a couple of days, do this. He's living the dream, and then go back to reality again. I was in Sabaton for 13 years, and through all these years we've been good friends, and even after I left Sabaton, and we kept in contact all these years, and to be able to do this is great, just great.
I mean, I've known Daniel Mullback since I was long before Sabaton. We stayed friends, and it is quite special to see his little kid with the same energy that Daniel had when he was a kid and following in his father's footsteps and now playing a Sabaton song. Sort of closing the circle, and to see Daniel, Hannes and Leo working together to build up the drum kit here behind me was kind of emotional, I would have to say.
Right guys, that's a wrap everyone, well done!
So we obviously go around and we play heavy metal, singing about military conflicts and military history, hoping that it remains history. We have no wish that anybody repeats the stuff that we are singing about, and we have rather the opposite. And this is a little bit what the wish and the dream of this music video is about. That hopefully one day in the future, kids grow up with the ability to play heavy metal without any risk of any wars or any conflicts in a peaceful world where heavy metal is still going strong.
I believe that the greatest stories ever are real stories, or at least myths and legends that, that took place or that were passed on by word of mouth over thousands of years. Every single film that you've ever seen ever has been inspired by something, by many things. But if you work all the way back, all those films were actually inspired by real events. That's why working with Sabaton is always such a pleasure, because we're not creating music promos. We don't create music videos with them. We're actually producing, creating, telling stories that are inspired by history, but bring that history back to life again, for a modern audience. Smashed it, yeah?
I feel good.